I did not feel like myself. I felt just Hi guys, it's Amanda with Eat, Pray, Crunch, and I am here to do my weekly update for how my Whole30 and weight loss journey is going. So as you guys know, this is part of a collab with the YouTube Mommy Meetup. And every Friday or so, bear with me if I don't get it up every Friday. I'm really bad about actually scheduling videos at a specific day and time, but I will do my very best to get it up on Fridays. Bear with me if it's a Saturday or a Sunday. So I've been doing this for 5 days now, and I just wanted to give you the weekly update to let you know how it's been going. That first day I did a weigh-in and a measurement, which I'm not going to be telling you guys exact numbers, but I'll be telling you progress as I go. That day I felt mostly fine, and I did have a headache. And I couldn't tell if it was because of the diet or if it was because of the changing weather because I get barometric pressure headaches. So when there are like big changes in weather, when it goes from like sunny to cloudy and rainy to, you know, and the other way around, regardless of what I'm eating, I can feel it in my head. I get like sinus pressure headaches. It's genetic. My mom has the same thing. I couldn't tell if the headache was because of that or because of the weather. But I did feel that day. And then day 2 happened. And let me tell you, day 2 was the hardest day in this whole thing. I felt like I had the flu without the fever. That is the best way I can describe it. And I looked up on all the forums and everything, and I guess this is like a really normal thing to happen when you're doing the Whole30 diet. I guess it's kind of like a detox or like a hangover almost when your body is adjusting to not having certain foods in your system anymore. Particularly grains for me, even though I had been doing gluten-free grains before that, even adjusting to having 0 grains, I think that's why I was feeling that way. And I would tell you guys that if I didn't know that this was a side effect of doing this diet in the first week or so, I would have thought I was pregnant, because that is what it felt like that day. And don't worry, I'm not pregnant. I know I am not pregnant. We are not trying to get pregnant. So get that out of your minds. But that's what it felt like. It felt like being in the first trimester. Just that level of fatigue when you feel like you have the flu, like you can't even get up and do anything, like your brain is just completely dead. Like I felt like a ton of bricks. And then in addition to that, oh my God, my emotions went haywire, which is another reason that it was kind of like the first trimester. I was like crying at the drop of a hat. And like the littlest things were setting me off all day long. Like I was crying. It was terrible, but I was like snapping at my kids. I was snapping at my husband. I felt like I was a little off my rocker. Like, trust me, I have my moments when I am a little off my rocker. Don't we all? But this was like extreme. It was extreme. Like I did not feel like myself. I felt just I was going crazy. I felt like a ton of bricks, and at the same time, like every little thing was setting me off. It didn't feel good. My body, my emotions, my mental state, just nothing felt good on day 2. Thank goodness I read a lot of the forums of women also saying that this happened to them, and this can actually be a strange little side effect in the first week. Probably because it's messing with your hormone balance somehow, but that is what happened. And I was like bracing for this to be like the entire first week. But then like that was the worst day and it was over. And thank God. I like to think that it's because we really do have a really good real food diet as it is, and eating this way wasn't like too different than how we normally eat. I did have a little bit of sugar before, not too much, and I did have grains, like I said before. So I guess just my body was detoxing those things in particular. But it probably didn't last too long for me just because it's not too different from how we were eating already. I was feeling that way a little bit that day, but it was so much better. And I even started to feel energy and motivation to do things. Oh, I also forgot to mention on day 1, I pushed through my ton of bricks feeling, and I actually did my postnatal slim down DVD. I have the link to where to get that DVD on Amazon. I love it. It's a really good one. All right, anyway, So day 1, day 2, then day 3, I actually started feeling really good. Even though I'm still not getting 8 hours of sleep every night, I'm amazed at the moms who do get 8 hours of sleep every night. I am not one of them. I usually get about 6 hours of sleep every night, and occasionally less, just with circumstances with my husband's work and that kind of thing. It was even less than that on some nights. But regardless of that, even being sleep deprived, I was feeling amazingly energized. I don't know what it was. Like, I have had chronic fatigue for a lot of my life, and I was actually feeling like that fatigue was gone. It was amazing. I was feeling motivated to do things. I felt like lighter again, not like physically, but just like emotionally, like from how I'd been feeling before, like when I just felt weighed down. I just felt like lighter again and like able to get through my day. And I actually started getting productive. What? So we're on day 5 now. And it's basically been like that since. I mean, on the days that I don't get enough sleep, I'm not as energetic as I am when I do get enough sleep. But regardless of that, I feel like I have more energy now than I did before I started this diet. And this is just in a matter of 5 days. Like, I went through this, big crash, and then it's like it went back up again. And now I'm like staying up here. It's crazy. So that's good. So for me, the discipline with the exercise is the hardest thing for me. And honestly, I'm giving myself a little bit of grace week 1, week 2. I am planning on implementing my exercise routine, which I have the video about that linked here in the cards. I'm giving myself a little bit of grace about that just in the first few weeks because 1, it's taking some adjustment and a lot of thought just getting into this new habit with the Whole30, and 2, as you guys know, I have kind of been cranking out the videos this last week, and that has taken a lot of my time that has not gone towards exercise, but I really wanted to get those videos out because I feel like it's really important background for understanding the Whole30 and why I'm doing what I'm doing and my exercise routine. I feel like all of that stuff is important. So I am giving myself a little bit of grace on the exercise this week and next week as I, kind of finish up like the lion's share of the videos that I am making, surrounding that. So hopefully I can get in like 3 days of exercise this week. I've already done 2. I did do the postnatal slim down, like I said, and that is a higher intensity. So I at least got one higher intensity one in, and that was for about a half an hour. And then last night I did my elliptical really moderately, and I did it for 20 minutes, and I did it at like midnight, you guys. We're night owls around here, although that's usually a little later than I'm willing to exercise, but I was like, gosh darn it, I have to do it. I have to do it. It's midnight, I'm doing it. So I did 20 minutes just moderately on the elliptical, got my heart rate up just a little bit, about what it would be if I were walking at a brisk pace. And I watched some YouTube videos while I did that. And I'm hoping tomorrow to maybe do an intense, it's been really rainy here, so going for a run really isn't going to happen. But maybe doing like an intense elliptical workout, or maybe doing my workout DVD again, we'll see. So far I've done 2 workouts, 1 intense and 1 moderate. All right, and then moving on to numbers. So I need to preface the whole numbers thing with the fact that a few days leading up to when I actually started the Whole30 diet, I was having like a major flare up in my body. Just like all of my inflammatory stuff was going on at once. That actually like spiked my weight up like 2 pounds from what it had been like the previous week. Just because when I get into that like IBS mode, that inflammatory mode, I get a very distended belly, extreme bloating, and so I can gain 2 pounds in a day just with water weight. So that actually happened right before I started. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that actually made it easier for me to take that off and then some this week. So I have lost 3 pounds this week. I have about 2 pounds to go to get to my very lowest of low plateau, and then I need to break through that. But I am happy. 3 pounds so far in 5 days. I'll take it. That's awesome. And I have also lost a half an inch. It's a little something. It's definitely motivating to me seeing that there is change, like measurable change happening already. Oh, and last thing I need to mention is I am so depressed about this, guys, but I was kind of going heavy on the eggs earlier in this week, and my body was not happy with the eggs, and I'm so upset about that because I know that when I had my food allergy test done in the last few months, eggs did show up as kind of a moderate reaction, moderate high, but I had been eating them in moderation. I had been having them maybe like twice a week, and my body was doing okay with that, and so I was like, great, my body is actually doing okay with eggs. And then I had like eggs at breakfast and eggs at dinner one day, and my body was not thrilled with that. I started getting like one of my worst IBS symptoms, which is like extreme intestinal pain. It's painful for me to like move around. It's painful for me to sit down. Like I can feel this pressure and this pain in my intestines and in my abdomen. And so I was like, so this is depressing. I guess I'm not going to be able to eat eggs on my Whole30, which makes it that much harder. But I have thought about it and come up with ways around that. Doing just like a little bit more plant-based stuff in the morning, and then doing more of the meat in the lunch and dinner meals. And when I do breakfast, doing things like bacon and that kind of thing and for breakfast instead of eggs. I'll be putting out a what I ate this week video, and you'll see that I will be putting one of my meals that had eggs in there just so you can get an idea of what you can do with the Whole30, but that actually is ending up not being one of the things that I'm going to be eating long term for this diet. So there's that, which is kind of a bummer. If I can go for a month without eating eggs and all these other things that bother me, hopefully I can reintroduce them at the end of this thing, and hopefully I'll be able to tolerate them again. So that's what's keeping me going. That's what's keeping me motivated and having the self-control to not eat those things. So that is it for my week 1 update. For those of you who are part of this collab, I've been watching a lot of your guys' videos, and it's very motivating. Keep on going, girls. And I know there are a lot of you guys who are watching who said that you were going to be doing this with me. So please, please, please tell me in the comments how it's going for you. I really want to know, because we are on this journey together. So thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.